Hey, my true tellers, how are you guys doing? I see my girl, country girl, is in the house. She says, hello, unapologetic real talk and true tellers. So, guys, I'm just testing to see how this work right here. I put it on membership only. Now, I don't know if it's membership, with the chat, or it's membership where only I can see. So I'm just testing to see how everything work out. So, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I see Starbucks is in house. She says, welcome everyone watching. So, guys, let me know if it showed up where it's membership only or, just a chat. Because last time I thought that I went ahead, it's just only one box that I can go ahead and check and it just say membership. So, I don't know if everybody can see it, but, only the members can go ahead and chat. So, as you can see right here, guys, we got something that I want to go ahead and talk about this right here. been laid heavy on my heart. I've been pushing it back, and I mean, gosh, I just I mean, just a lot, to me when I see things like this, I look at it as a wake up call, but it's not for us to be scared of anything. I see a lot of people, they going into stores and they just cleaning it out, tissue paper, paper towels, anything. They just cleaning the shelves out because they looking at this, right here as a sign, which it is, it is time for us to sit there and get ready, then well, to be ready, then to go ahead and get ready. It doesn't say, Star says it doesn't say. I don't know, guys. It might I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I don't know what I'm doing. It says membership only, and that's the button I went ahead and clicked. So I don't know, but we time going to tell. We're going to go ahead and see. But as you can see right here by the title, right here, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it, which I think we had heard about it. I think it was maybe about a month ago, where it was saying that 159 countries is considering ditching the United States dollar, which, to me, I thought that the dollar bin was going down because we've barely, look at, bills. We always, pull out our debit card, and so most likely it probably been was going down. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about all that right there, because I think when it comes to all this right here, and then we see all the stuff that's going on with these silly sheeps, these entertainers. I think a lot of this right here is a distraction. So let me go ahead and do my copyright disclaimer, because I want to check and see if it's only memberships only, guys, because that's exactly what I want to go ahead and do when I talk about certain topics. Okay. Now, when I talk about, like, these reality shows, I don't mind, just uh, bringing it live. But when I talk about certain things like this, which, this right here, I'm very passionate about it, because I look at it, as, like I said, this right here is what I call the end times. So let me go ahead and read my disclaimer, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into all that right there. Okay. So my disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And as you can see right here, like I said, when it comes to all this stuff, Sean Combs, and it's just so much stuff is going on. I really think, to me, I really think that all this right here is a distraction. They know, especially when it comes, hold on, especially when it comes to our people. We love to be entertained. We love drama like this, and that's why we drawn to stuff like this. And I talk about it all the time. um they put all this stuff in our way, because I think it was, who was it, country girl or star, I know, I'm trying to see who this singer, I think he was a country singer. I'm trying to think what his name is. I think his name was Golf Brooks. So let me see. And I was checking to see if I saw any videos going up, especially, with this YouTuber that's really stuck on Sean Combs, or any black entertainer that, look like they fall. Oh my God, they are quick to make videos of that. So let me see if who is this entertainer. I think, yes, Golf Brooks, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Golf Brooks. I'm not going to go ahead and pull up the article, but I was trying to check and see if I saw any of the the content creators even talked about this, and I haven't seen anyone. That's just to show you we would tear our own people down, but when it comes to white people, entertainers, you really don't hear them talk about it. They going to get their justice in court, but we going to be the public, the court of public opinion. We're going to make sure that that person is torn down. I just don't understand, but to me, it's a lot of brainwashing going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell it where it says right here, because I don't see no commentary, no content creators talking about stuff like this, where it says Golf Brooks, um, where they say his family is stricken by the country music singer as he faced allegations of sexual assault and battery. A source has spoken out about how those closest to Golf are handling the allegations. What happened here is what they started. Now, this is not the one I wanted to pull up, but let me see. Golf is known to be. Let me see. This is not the one I want to pull up, but I'm trying to see if I can go into say his wife Tisha is important. Hold on one second, guys. Which just wasn't. I wasn't going to talk about this right here, but I might as well go ahead and talk about it. But right here it says that Golf Brooks has been accused of, the big aura, sexual assault, sexual abuse in a lawsuit filed October the 3rd. And we don't even hear any content creators. We don't hear them talking about like that because we was conditioned to only tear down our own people or allow them to help us tear down our own people. Because like I say, when it comes to some of these prisons, it wasn't really built for them. It was built for our people. And that's why I sit there and say it's time for us to wake the hell up. But right here it says October the 3rd, by a hairstylist, makeup artist who worked for him. So this is a hairstylist and slash makeup artist who had worked it for Golf Brooks. She the one that went ahead and accused him of all these accusations. Right here it says that the country music star 62 respond to the allegation filed by plaintiff Jane Rose. So I guess they're not, giving her real name, and saying that he's not the man that they have painted me to be. In September, Brooks anonymously filed a lawsuit against the accuser alleging attempt extortion and defamation. Hours after Rose's lawsuit was filed on Tuesday, Brooks took the stage in Los Angeles and referenced his personal trouble in a social media post. So he went ahead, I guess when he went on stage to perform, he went ahead and he talked about all this right here. But the thing about it, you don't see none of this right here goes viral. Okay. On October the 3rd, the former employee filed a lawsuit against him in the California Supreme Court in Los Angeles County. In the complaint, Rowe, who said she began working with Brooks in 2017, alleged the aura has groped her, made her unwanted sexual remarks, undressed in her presence, and sent her sexual explicit text message through 2019. So if she went ahead and made those type of allegations that say she got text messages, I promise you it can be found. Okay. So right here it says Rowe, which they're not giving the person's name, says that who first worked with Brooks' wife Tisha years would beginning in 1999, claimed Brooks made repeatedly remarks about having a threesome with her and Yearwood. She alleged Yearwood overheard the explicit comments on at least one occasion. Rose says she stopped working for Brooks and moved to Mississippi around 2021. Brooks went ahead and denied all these allegations. So I'm not going to continue reading on. Let me see where it says many millions of dollars. Brooks said it has been like having a loaded gun. Wow, we filed again. So right there, I just want you guys to sit there and see, when it comes to certain people, we don't talk about it. But when it's time for our people, oh my God, we'll go ahead and we'll rip them apart. Okay. So I'm seeing right here, one of my mods sent me this say only paid members of your channel can participate and send message. So I guess the only ones, yes, that's exactly how I want it. It says members only mode. So that's exactly how I want it. I wanted it just like this. Okay. This is exactly how I want it. Like I said, I want to test out to see how it works because, I don't feel like it's fair if you guys are subscribing to my membership. I want to make sure that you guys get first hands, and most likely if I do come live with certain things, I might go ahead and edit it. Okay. So I like it. So I see that my mod sat there and say it says members only mode. Okay. And that's exactly what I wanted it to be. Okay. So as you can see right here, we also going to talk about the dock workers union suspended. To me, all this right here is like a wake up call, and like I said, a lot of people, they said, oh, they're afraid, but it's nothing to be afraid, because we already know that that time was going to come. That's why I tell you guys, especially when we go out there and buy unnecessary stuff, make sure you be good stewards. Don't go out there and squander your money, because you never know that day you're going to go ahead and need it. Okay, and try to, if you can go and buy things by the box, or do gardens, vegetable gardens or whatever. Try to do it, because I truly believe that this right here, and it's not to be doom and gloom, but you can see all the signs right here. I think right here, this is the final judgment. And I don't know too much about when it comes to all this politician stuff, but I know when it comes to my spirituality, it's all going to line up. So let me go ahead and pull this up right quick. I want to go ahead and read a little bit of this right here, so we could know exactly what we are talking about. And like I say, when it comes to Sean Combs, all these celebrities that's falling, all this right here is just a distraction. When it comes to politician and celebrities, we saw, I think it was the other day, Magic Johnson, he came out and he talked, and you know like I said, they do all that. They're going to use celebrities, going to use entertainment, because we idolize people like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this right quick. And I know you most likely probably read it already, but let me go ahead and see if I can read it again. Okay, so right here, if I can pull it up with all these commercials, it says that the dock workers union has suspended the strike until January the 15th to allow time to negotiate new contract. And all this right here, to me, this is my opinion, I think is all falling in line with all the stuff that is going on, where the dollar is about to crumble, and we already see how they talking about bricks, which we're going to go ahead and break that down as well, because, like I said, the love of money is the root of all evil. And we already know that when it comes to money, money will sit there, and it will cause, if you allow it to be evil spoken of, it will cause you to sell your own mama. So right here, this right here is by AP. It says that the dock workers union suspended strike until January 15 to allow time to negotiate new contract. So that's why you're seeing so many people, so many people, they just cleaning up the shelves, buying all the tissue paper, all the products. Anytime when they see something on the shelves, they go ahead and they clean it out. And the reason why, because they see right here that the dock workers, they are on strike. And as I was talking, I was just asking the Most High God to reveal to me, a lot of stuff that's going on. I think you remember, I think it was like last year, when that big ship that came from China had hit that bridge. I forgot where it was, and the bridge came collapsing down, and they said that all the shipment containers, everything was still setting, out there in that river. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on. And I promise you, we will be the last to know, because what they do is they put these silly sheets, these entertainers, and all this distraction to keep us from focusing on what was really going on. But right here, it says that some 45,000 workers, and this right here is in Detroit, it says some 45,000 dock workers at East and Gulf Coast ports and returning to work after their union reached a deal to suspend a strike that could have caused shortage and highest prices if it has dragged on. So right there, it was letting if we're not getting, the shipment into the United States, then what that's going to mean? That's going to mean that when we buy things directly from the United States, the price is going to go triple. It's going to go triple. So we're going to talk about that as well. But right here it says that the International Longshoremen Association is suspending its 3-day strike until January 15th. So that's like maybe about 2 or 3 more months to provide time to negotiate a new contract. The union and the U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represented ports and shipping company, said in a joint statement that they have reached a tentative agreement on wages. A person briefed it on the agreement said that the port sweetened their wages offer for about 50% over 6 years to 62%. The person didn't want to be identified because the agreement is tentative. Any increase could have to be approved by the union members as part of the ratification of a final contract. So right there, with the strike that's going on, and now the dollar is crumbling. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that is an eye open. It let us know that the things that we used to do, how we used to take advantage of certain things, we cannot do it anymore. And like I said, that right there is of the well in the natural. So let's go ahead and we're going to tie it all in when it comes to the spirit. Now we already know that if we have certain countries to go ahead and stop, sending us shipment. We already know that the price of everything is going to go sky high. But the thing about it is that all this right here is Bible prophecies. Like I told you guys, I don't look at the Bible like a history book, or ancient times. When I look at the Bible, I look at it as things that's going to come. So let's go ahead and we're going to tie it in. I promise you, I am going somewhere. Let's go ahead and pull this scripture right here out of the book of Revelation 6:6, because now you're seeing people, and you seeing people all over the world. They thinking that, hey man, is this the end times? Is what the book of Revelation is talking about? How it says right here. Let me see if you guys can see it, where it says, and that's in Revelation 6:6. Let me go ahead and read it in the NIV translation. You can read whatever you want, but I truly believe right here, this one right here, it breaks it down where even a child can understand. Where it says in Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice from among the four living beings saying, a loaf of bread of 3 loaves of barley will cost a day wages. Now let me go ahead and break it down. What it means. It means that the price is going to be so sky high where it's going to take a whole day wages. A whole day wages just to buy a loaf of bread. Just to buy, some things that's in a store. And we remember when it was bread used to be at least $1. Now, if I'm not mistaken, bread is like $2 or $3. Don't talk about milk. Everything is going so high because we already know that this time was going to come. Do you think that God is going to continue allowing his people to go through the things that they are going through right now? No. And like I say, when it comes to all this P. Diddy and all the stuff that is going on out there, all that right there, guys, is just a distraction. All that right there is just a distraction. And we already know this right here is what I call the final judgment. This right here is a final judgment. And also, I was doing some research where it says that China, yes, China, uh, America, let me make sure I get this right. Let me go ahead and get into this one right here. America owes China almost, and that was like 2022, $35 trillion. Do you hear me? $35 trillion. America is in debt with China on $35 trillion. And like I said, all this right here, what you see right here, all this stuff right here, like I say, it is a lot. And they know that, it's a lot of distraction. So let me see if I can go ahead and pull that article up, because I did wrote a lot of stuff down. So let me see. But and also I want to go ahead and break down and let you know how other countries are now banding together. And my God, just imagine if America owes China $35 trillion and China is siding with other countries against America, my God, that is scary. But like I said, when it comes to our people, we don't get ready. We should be ready at all times. Okay. So let me see if I can go ahead and find this right here where it says, why do America depend on China for shipment when China is trying to weaken the dollar? So that's the question, that I want to know, if China is trying to weaken the dollar, and why we don't make all those products right here, why we always got to depend overseas for even paper towel, for tissue paper. I mean, China made everything, our plates, everything, our clothes. And soon a minute, when you depend on people, sooner or later that's going to come to an end. So right here it says that right here, and we're going to talk about the bricks too, okay, where it says right here the information based on well, China. Number one, China manufacturing and export capability. China is a major manufacturing import, so the US may rely on China shipping because of the goods and other products. Also, the US and China economic, despite the all the stuff that is going on, with the debt, China still hold a large amount of the US debt, and the two countries being major trading partners. So China holds a large amount of the United States debt. So I want to go ahead and get into how they all are siding. It's like an alliance. And when it comes to America, their alliance is NATO. But with the American, let me see where it says where the China. So because I made sure that I had put all that down, trying to see where I can go ahead and find all that. But this right here, I don't know if it's, this is a wake up call, guys. I promise you, this is nothing to take lightly at all. So let me see where I'm at so I can make sure that I because to me this is right here. This is a lot, to know that, we got to make sure that we be educated when it comes to stuff like this. Just to know, man, 35 trillion, that was in 2022. So if that was in 2022 and now we are in 2024, just imagine, how much just the interest alone, how much United States owes. So yes, I found it. So let me go ahead and get to this right here. Let me see what the question was. So I want to let you know what BRICS mean, BRICS, and that's all the countries that went ahead and alliance against the United States. And right here it says BRICS, BRICS countries. That's Brazil, Russia, wow, India, China, and also South America. Okay, have been quietly developing a new alternative payment system to challenge the United States dollar. And also, it says that the SWIFT finance managing network, okay, messaging network. So I wonder if you remember, I think it was like 2 months ago or maybe 3 months ago, when everybody was trying to get their money out the bank and everything was just it's like the computer system had went down. And now I'm saying a legend. All this right here is a legend, like, guys. I'm just a person that's a critical thinker. But who to say that all this stuff was just a test? They was testing everything to see how everything was going to work, because a lot of people they were panicking. But right here it says that the new BRICS bridge system aims to allow countries to conduct internal trade and transactions using their local currency, reducing the reliance of the US dollar. So what they are trying to do is they're really trying to go ahead and do away, to make sure that other countries don't have to rely on American dollars. But like I said, the love of money is the root of all evil, especially when you take something and make it evil spoken of. And I was thinking about this right here. You remember when Sean Combs had offered the DA, I think it was like I think they had sat there and say 50 million dollars. That's a lot of money. And they went ahead and they turned that down because most likely, no, shoot, the dollar is not worth anything anymore. So let me go ahead and read some more right here where it says 159 out of 195 countries. So 159 countries out of 195 have already pledged to adopt the new BRICS payment system, which is seen as a potential game changer in global finance. So just imagine 159 countries has all agreed to this new system. And I'm telling you guys, it's just deep. And they know that when it comes to us, we don't like the research. We don't like the research because they was talking about the Suez Canal, and some of you guys don't even know what the Suez Canal, Suez Canal in Africa, how they split, build that man-made canal in order for them to import shipment, from Africa to different other countries. And we thought that, some act of God went ahead and divided Africa, and the Middle East. No, no, that's all man made. So now they're saying, that they're trying to build another canal where they don't have to go around to do all the import, where they can sit there and when it comes to Israel, they can just do the shipment and they don't have to, go around and go through other places, and pay or whatever. They can just do it. But now, if all these different countries that I went ahead and named, they aligns with the other countries, then the dollar is not going to be no good at all. That's why I sit there and say, guys, this right here is a wake-up call. It's time for us to be good stewards over our money. But if we say that we in the world, but we not of the world, then we shouldn't even have to worry about it. That's why I said there and say a lot of people, they have a form of godliness. Oh, God, this, God, that, but they deny the power thereof. Because if they really know God, then they would know that all the stuff that's coming up right now, all this stuff had to come out. So right here, it says that the emergency of the brick bridge possessed a significant threat to the long-standing influence of the US dollar and the SWIFT system, which has allowed the US with a significant power economic sanction, if widely adopt the BRICS system, would diminish the West's ability. So right there, say it would diminish the West's ability to use such sanctions as a foreign policy tool, leading to a more balanced global financial system. The swift away from the US dollar would have major economic repercussions for the United States, as the global demand for the dollar has allowed the US to maintain large trade deficiencies and high level of natural debt. The success of the BRIC payment system could mark the beginning of a new era in international finance and trade. So right there with this new system that they are trying to set up, what they're trying to do is they are trying to weaken America. And let's go ahead and talk about that, because first of all, when it comes to the United States, how United States is one of the most powerful country in the world. And we're going to talk about the four horsemen. Might not talk about it right now, but right now, as you can see, we are what we call close to the end times. And when it talked about the four horsemen, I know you guys heard about that in the book of Revelation. And the world wants to sit there and they wants to pretend that, oh my God, this just has nothing to do with us. It got a lot to do with us. And I remember I saw Beyonce See, they don't know, so they'll let be Beyonce, these entertainers, to go ahead and make it as something comical, because we really don't know what we're doing riding on a white horse. Some of that stuff, is symbolic, and we already know who is the white horse. It's all about power. It's all about power. So right here, let me go ahead and read a little more when it talks about the BRICS, and I'm talking about the countries that is in alliance. Right here it says the countries have been developing a new alternative payment system called the BRICS. The BRICS bridge aims to allow countries to conduct international trade, local currencies, and which all the stuff is to go ahead and weaken the dollar. And also it says that the BRICS summit in 2024 as a BRIC country has been quietly working behind the scene. Did you hear what I'm saying? Like I said there and say, when these people want to do things, they going to do it behind the scene. And what we see right now, when we talking about all these entertainers and all these fools that's falling and doing some crazy thing, they got it like an ace in the pocket. Some of that stuff is just a distraction. Some of that stuff is just a distraction. So they can work quietly. They don't have to worry about we interfering in all the stuff that they are doing. What it says right here, and they are working quietly behind the scene. And I'm gonna say a legend to all this right here. This is some stuff that I went ahead and I pulled up. Also, it says that the BRICS has implemented a new payment system that has already attracted the interest of these countries right here, and it allowed members countries to trade with each other without needing the US dollars, reducing reliance on the dollar. So these people right here, they are very excited, to work with other countries and don't even have to worry about the US dollars. And that's why I said, and I say, a lot of stuff that is happening, it's just a wake up call. And that's why I say, we got to be wise and know exactly, the stuff that is going on behind the scene. So let me go ahead and read a little more. Right here it says the reducing reliance on the US dollar, the BRICS are developing and global financial power. If the BRICS payment system gains widespread adoption, it could lead to a more balanced global financial system, while power is more evenly distributed among various global players instead of being dominated by the United States. Also, it says that the sanction by conducting trade and transitions outside of the US dollar system, countries could become less vulnerable to the impact of the US economy sanctions, which often involve cutting off access to the dollar and to SWIFT. And that's what a lot of people, they are afraid of. And I wonder, you remember everybody was ordering overseas. It's called, I think it's Timu. And, all that stuff was just a test to see, when it comes to, people, would they still, even if, just say that when it comes to United States, all the products is so high, would they still allow customers to get products, in different other countries? Because when it came to this little site that they had Tuma, and I might be pronouncing it wrong, TMU. I mean, people was ordering left and right. So, like I said, a lot of stuff that you see, guys, it is a wake up call for everybody. Okay. And I was also thinking, I was sitting there and saying, when it came to Donald Trump, I say Donald Trump, he was more of a business person, because I went ahead and I put that on my back wall. I say, when it comes to Donald Trump, he into business, wouldn't it be best for him to be in the seat? But then I was thinking, when it came to Kamala Harrison, she's more she more head smart when it comes to a lot of stuff. But this right here, I think that it's just time for us to sit there and let these people just do what they need to do with each other, because we already know that time was going to come. And the thing about it, we always sit there and say, how long, God? But yet we always be the first one to help these people do their jobs, or help these people to get out all this stuff right here. Like I said, When you're building on bad foundation, this is the repercussions, the things that's going to go ahead and happen. Okay, so let me see if I can read some more because I had wrote a lot of stuff down when it comes to the Western allies, and we already know that's NATO, ATO. So let me see what it says right here. It says it state that even Western allies are paying attention to and potentially align with the new BRICS payment system, suggesting that some Western countries may be interested in exploring alternative to the current U.S.-led system. So right there is saying, and I'm gonna say allegedly told this right here, okay, but they saying some other Western countries they also want into the deal. A lot of people gonna want into the deal because if you getting stuff you know, very low at a very low price and getting the same in the United States. Let's just say right now, if you have a loaf of bread right here in the United States for $5, and you can get the loaf of bread from other countries for half of that price, what you gonna do? Everybody's about saving, right? So what you gonna do? You're gonna start doing business with countries over the seas, and sooner or later, what's going to happen to American? What's going to happen to the American dollar? It's going to go ahead and it's going to collapse. But like I said, this right here, I only can speak, like I said, when it comes to my spirituality, all this stuff right here, all this stuff right here is coming to pass. Nothing is new. And what is really set alarm off is that we already know in the last days, a Jezebel spirit is going to go ahead and roam in the last days. That stuff gonna happen. I just read just a loaf of bread, and that's just paraphrasing. That's just just giving you something that letting you know what's going on. But that's why I say loaf of bread. But it's gonna be more than bread. Gonna cost you entire day's wages. So if we see that families are out the house right now working from sun up to sundown, both parents working, then what you think is going to happen to the families? What you going to think going to happen to the children? What you think is going to happen? Who going to raise the kids? Ain't nothing good is going to come out of this. Nothing. Not one thing good is going to come out that. Because if the whole system collapses, if we can't sit there and afford to even sit there and spend money right into our own country, what do you think is going to happen? That's why I sat there and say, guys, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. All this stuff right here, all this stuff, it had to play out. And I know you guys, some of you guys may not want to hear stuff like this. First of all, I didn't even want to even come on, but God said, then say, tell it to him anyhow. Tell it to them anyhow, because like I said, we are so distracted when it comes to the things of this world, and not knowing a lot of stuff that is going on behind the scene. I was listening to a content creator where she was saying that her son is incarcerated, and they was taking other boys and sending them to a camp out of the jail and sending them to a camp because some of the guys are underweighted. They want to make sure that they have a certain weight on them. Like I said, a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to these young kids, they are experimenting. And that's just my opinion. That's how I see all this stuff in the spirit. A lot of this stuff, they are experimenting. And if you start doing your own research and start seeing exactly, stuff that is going on, you will be shocked. You will be shocked. God will sit there and he will show you, but it's up to you how far you are willing to go and get that information. Because like I said, the word is not hidden. All this information is not hidden. It's just how far you are willing to dig deep into all this stuff right here. Notice half of the prisons are filled with young kids, because they know that, like I said, most of that stuff, the food and you don't know if they experiment with these people in prison, these young kids in prison. You don't know. Because if America is not going to import. Other countries is not going to sit there and import their goods with America. They don't want to see the dollar anymore. Then what you think is going to happen to the food? Then before you know it, you're going to see all this type of food made out of a lab, which they working on that right now. But that's what we gonna be eating if we don't sit there and come out and wake up. They doing all that right now. I remember when I was eating a watermelon with seeds. They say, "Oh, I haven't seen seeds in watermelon in a long, long time." And I was looking at them funny. What you talking about? That's the only type of watermelon I ever seen. Thank God, I'm in the deep, deep south. Oh no, we don't have a seedless, or we have seedless watermelon. But a lot of stuff is going to be made out of a lab. The meat, everything. And what you think is going to happen to us? Our body's going to break down because we so busy out there trying to sit there and live from paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul, going out there and spending unnecessary money when God is telling us right now it's time for us to be good stewards. So we out there, when that time do come, we're not going to be prepared for this. And that's why I sit there and say, a lot of stuff that is happening right now, we already was warned, but we still, I was watching when that was the other day, how Iran and Israel going back and forth, throwing missiles over each other's head. What we was talking about, breaking news. What breaking news on CNN was talking about? They wasn't talking too much about what was going on with Iran and Israel. They was talking about Sean Combs, P. Diddy. That's what they was talking about. And when it comes to the media, social media, some of these content creators, they even sitting there getting paid to sit there and steer this narrative. But we're going to be accountable for all this. We're going to be accountable for all this because, like I said, this right here, this is what I call the final hour, whether we read or not. So let me go ahead and read some more. So right here, I had put a question that if the America is confronting a debt crisis with trillions, and I had also pulled up, it was like $35 trillion. That was like in uh 2022, and we now, just like I had said earlier, we are in 2024, owes to China. Why are we focusing on all this unnecessary stuff? Make it make sense. And good and well, if America owes way in 22, China 34 trillion dollars. Just imagine what the interest is right now. And not only that, China is in alliance against them. Wow. And we worrying about these silly sheeps acting up. And this right here is what we should be worrying about. And I was talking to someone on my community tab. Oh, you worrying about food? No, it's not. Food is the main source. You can't live without food. So that's one of the main source. That's just to show you where these people mindset is. It got so much other stuff that going on besides the food. And oh no, the food is the main thing, because if you're not eating, you cannot conduct life. So like I said there and say, it's a lot of stuff right now where we can be preparing for those times. And I don't know, for some reason, the Most High God been having me so fixated when it comes to the stuff that is happening in Africa, especially when it comes to these little small village, how they eat natural food with no GMO, no nothing. And now we're seeing when it comes to Bill Gates, he out there trying to buying farms and all. I mean, millions, spending millions, billions of dollars on farms, buying it out right there. They know something that we didn't know. They know something that we didn't know. That's why he's out there buying all these farms. Like I say, guys, this right here to me, it is a wake up call, okay? And a lot of people, they sit there and say God, but do they really know God? Because if they really know God, they would deny the power thereof. So let me go ahead and read this part right here when it comes to NATO, NATO. And what that means, that's mean the countries that's siding with the United States, and that's Europe, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. And all these countries that I just named right here, God showed me in the spirit. These are what I call the four horses. These are the horses that went ahead and colonized and oppressed our people. Okay. We already know when it came to all these different countries right here. Okay. But other European countries, also Poland and Belgium and the Netherlands, and it's deep. Like I say, the rabbit hole gets deep. But one thing that I know when it comes to the Most High God, it can take a year, 20 years, 100 years. It's going to come back. And this right here is the eighth universal season, and what I call is harvest time. So if we miss this, that's it. If we miss it, that's it. That's why I sit there and say, stop letting these people work overtime on us. Also, it says right here, Japan, South Korea, and other U.S. allies, I guess they are in between. Okay. So Korea has not because they still doing dealings with America as well. Okay. But they haven't sided. So right here, let me go ahead and read some more. I don't know about you guys, but this right here, this is the eye open right here. So right here it says the China manufacture and export capability. China is a major manufacturing hub and export, which I just had read that Chinese shipping infrastructure importing goods to United States. But now, if they are in alliance with other countries, do you think that they're going to ship? No, not at all. I wanted to read something about the four horsemen. I know I had wrote that down as well. But this right here, guys, this right here is what I call a wake up call. Okay. So I read that one right here about the trillions of dollars that America is in debt of. That's not good. That is not good at all. So let me see right here. So, like I said, guys, don't get ready. Be ready. We don't want to be like the 10 virgins. Well, five was foolish and the other one was wise. We wants to be wise. We don't want to be like the foolish virgin, because it's going to be a time. It's not that people going to be selfish, but people is not going to share with nobody. People going to, they're going to say, well, you had time enough to prepare for all this. You're going to say, well, can I borrow some oil? No, you can't even borrow no oil. You had a chance to sit there and prepare, but you rather go out there and squander your money and spend it on the world. And when that day came, you was not prepared. So that's all on you. So let's go ahead and read this one right here, because I got time. I got about 8 more minutes. And guys, thank you for making my job a little hard. Nobody is commenting or anything. Like I said, they're saying when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, it's like our people, they get numb. And the reason why they so numb, because we are brainwashed by the things of this world. Now, let us go ahead and talk about reality shows and talking about tearing down other people. Oh, we're going to all be into all that. But the minute when you start educating your people and telling you the real stuff that's going on, that's why I said there and say, old master don't have to do anything anymore. All old master have to do is just sit back and just watch us, because we are brainwashed. It's already embedded in us. When we start talking about things like that, nobody want to hear. But when the time come, everybody's sitting there, they scrambling like chickens with their heads off. But the minute when you sit there and you talk about reality shows and stuff like that, that's why I sit there and say, hell with the reality shows. I talk about it when I feel like talking about it, because this right here, it's just too much, and it's going to be a time where you think that your dollar is going to carry you on. Your dollar is not going to mean a crap of beans, okay? And that's real talk, okay? So let me go ahead and continue. Right here, in the Revelation, which I did talked about it. I read Revelation 6 and 6. So let me go ahead and break it down a little bit, because I got about 8 more minutes. Where it's talking about this apocalypse, and that's where I think we are going in right now. Where it says the voice among the four living creatures, which means that it's the trial. We are on trial now. It's judgment. It's the final call. We talked about the 2 pounds of wheat for a day wages, 6 pounds of barley, which means that it's just going to take us a whole day wages, just to sit there and put food on our table. Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me see. So let me go ahead and talk about this right here. It says, let's talk about the four horsemen. And I already talked about NATO, NATO, how that's, with the ones that's aligned with America. So right here, we're going to talk about the white horse, which I wasn't going to talk about this right here now, but I'm just want you to see when it comes to the white horse. The white horse is the Antichrist. And that's right here, what we call Babylon, how we got, white supremacists wants to call themselves God, and all this stuff right here. God is revealing it, where they are being exposed right now because they took the power and was not even for them and wanted to make themselves God. And also when it comes to the red hearts, we already know who the red hearts, what it means, all of that war, everything that we see right now, the black horse, we going right now, the black horse, that's famine. That's right now, that's the horse right now, famine in the lane. It's just it's gonna be messed up. You're gonna see so many people, they're not even gonna be able to have a decent meal. And when they do have a decent meal, it's gonna be with all that GMO, all that chemicals. And that's why they experiencing with the kids, and that's how I see it in the spirit. Is a reason why when it comes to America got more prisons being built. We got our kids coming from out of the school system into the prisons. The experiment on these kids. Why is they worrying about these kids whether they're a certain size? Oh, you getting 2 trays. Oh, you getting 2 trays? Yeah. What's in that food? What are they experiment with now, people? You see, and why every time you look, they capturing our young kids. That's right there. You see, like I say, they know exactly how to use the test dummies on our people. But I just wanted to go ahead and share this right here because I promise you, man, I wasn't gonna come on, but God said there and say that tell it to them anyhow. He said, tell it to them anyhow, because they are some stiff necked people. A star says the bread my family eat costs $6.99. My God, I didn't know bread costs that high. I need to check. I didn't know. I just we get it because is what we eat. What we eat. Bread $6.99 in certain places. Wow. So if you think that, and she's in a city, thank God we haven't felt the effect of a bread that's called $6.99, but it's gonna come. And you wondering why. And I got 2 more minutes. You wondering why people is working from sun up to sundown. It's going to be a time where you're not even going to have that job anymore. That's why I sat there and say we're going to start getting into the book of Revelation, where it's going to be a time where that job is not going to be there. And we're seeing it right now. AI, robots are taking over. And the ones that's going to take a human to operate, like I said, do you think that those people going to look like you and I? That's why I sat there and say, you got to come out of it and let God be God. Whatever happened, let it fall where it's at, because this right here is what I call judgment call. This is judgment call right here. Country girl said I'm listening and multitasking. Okay. But yes, I wanted to go ahead and share this with you. I didn't think that I was going to go ahead and last an hour because, when you start talking about stuff like this, but this right here to me, I am very interesting because this affect our real life. This is not something that we signed up for, but we don't have to worry about it because, like I said, let them go ahead and reap the harvest. This is the year of harvest. Do you think that the Most High God was going to continue allowing them to continue doing what they are doing? Like I said, the love of money has become the root of all evil. So if the love of money has become the root of all evil, why are we crying over it? Why are we crying over it? If the love of money is the root of all evil, like I said, some things might be the nature of the beast, and that's real talk. So, guys, you all be blessed. So, thank you, Country Girl and Star. Thank you guys for coming in.